Hey Lexi, it's John. I wanted to get back with you on the stuff we worked on Wednesday because I got a little tripped up on this piece of the problem, and I wanted to show you the right way to do it. So the question was to summarize the project information using functions to analyze category. And these are all the things your instructor wanted you to do. Count the rows in each category, sum estimate by category, average estimate by category, where the estimate was over 50,000, where the client ID was this, and then total estimates for each state. And that's all listed all down through here. So the correct function for counting the rows that have bridge in it is the count if here in the you can see in the address bar is count if. So all you're doing is saying count if in the projects table you find the value that is in the cell I4. The cell I4 is bridge. So there are 4 projects, 1, 2, 3, 4, that are that have the category of bridge. And if you're wondering if you want to see that again, any of these in a table, any of these fields can be sorted and filtered by clicking on this little button like dates. You can say, well, I want .c only. Right now they're all selected. You can unselect them all and then say, I just want to see February. And then does that. So anyway, that's a little, then clear the filter. So count if projects includes the value I4. The next one is the total estimates, which means you need a sum. So now if you know these off the top of your head, and you make at some point get there, it's a sum if parentheses. This one's a little different than the count if. You have to first say what category am I going to, which column am I going to go look, and it is category. And comma. And then, well, what am I looking for in category? And you're looking for bridge, I4. And then there's a third component to it is what do you want me to bring back and put in here as a sum? Well, it's estimate. So you can click, well, you can click that, but you don't have to do all that. You got to do is say estimate. And see, it grabs it, and then you end your parentheses, and there you go. So total estimates is 176. Well, let's see if that's true. So we're looking for, let's go back to category. Category, unselect all, select bridge, and you see the 4, you see that they total 176,446, so you got it right. Clear this filter. And then the next one is to do the same thing except do an average of those estimates. So it's see, you have sum if, category I4 estimate. Now what if I just drag this over like that? Well, notice that it keeps the same, everything is the same. It's maintaining the, well, no, that's a J. So it's a relative, see, it's looking, instead of, because I moved it over one, the function also moved over one. So it's looking at J here. Well, that's not what we want. We want I. And see, we've got the same answer. But actually, we're not looking for sum. We're looking for average. So I'm just going to go up here and type average if. And there you go. You have the average. So now you have these three fields and completed. And now you need to do the same thing for the rest of these. And all you have to do now is copy and paste this down. Now, I don't normally use tables. Notice how on the table you got gray, white, gray, white, gray, white, gray, white. And you also have that over here, and there's formatting. So if I just copy these down, it's going to reproduce the formatting that is in, well, let me just show you. So if I drag this down, my cursor is, here we go. See, it brought down all that formatting that was in this section, and that's not what you want to do. It doesn't look like the rest of it. So I'm going to undo that. So what you want to do is you want the formulas to go down, but you don't want the formatting to go down. So to do that, you copy, and you don't really even have to do, you can do this, or you can highlight the whole block, and then right mouse click, and you want to paste the formula, the function, not, so this says I'm going to paste everything from what I've copied. This is, I'm only going to paste the values that I copied. This is, I'm going to paste the formula, whatever is up here in this address bar. I'm going to copy it down, not the value. If I paste the value, 176,404 is not correct for highways, for example, or 4. So you want to paste the formula or function, as they call it. So just click that, and you can say then it retains the formatting that was already there. So now we have completed that section, and we can do a couple of tests. Let's look at site development, see if it matches. So go to category and filter by site development. Let's see what we get. There you go, 383, 389, 934, and there's 8 of them. And there's 1, 2, 3. The count is 8. And if you don't have this turned on down here at your the bottom of your, you can set that up in options so that you see. So, for example, like you can whatever you've got highlighted, you can see a sum down at the bottom of your screen. So that's something available in options. I use it quite a bit. So now then, the next question was projects over $50,000. Well, let me back up and just say one more thing. Count if you only need 2 references in the function, but if you are doing a sum or an average, you got to have three pieces of it. Being the, I'll just say it again. You got to have three things. What am I looking for? I'm looking for bridge. Where am I looking? I'm looking in category. And what do you want me to sum? Well, I want to sum estimates. Okay, so now for this one is estimates where the sum of estimate is over $50,000. So only two criteria are needed for that. So all you have to say is sum if the column estimate is greater than $50,000. The only nuance to this is that when you're using let's say it's any number, so it doesn't have to be 50. You can make it 60, 100,000, whatever you want. It's a constant. It's not a field in the table, so you have to put double quotes around it. So it's sum if estimate is greater than 50,000, and there you go. And you can do the same thing here with and double check it. So you can number filter where is greater than equal to $50,000, and we should get the same results by filtering the actual projects table. So yes, you see we now have a total 100,063,063. That equals, well, it's hidden now, but it equals 1,063,278. Voila, 1,063,278. On this one is same thing. Total paid is the only difference. They want the total paid where the client ID is this guy, W0338. So that is a sum if, and yeah, I had a little trouble with this one. You have to, I wasn't able to get it work by using, I think it was the client ID is the name. I couldn't get it to work using the range, the name client ID, and I don't know why. That's, you know, never really did use the naming that much, naming columns, or I actually never really used named tables very much, and I can explain that later. But so I had to resort to sum if the values in A4 through A36, oops, should be A37. A37 is A4 through A, and that's the way you do a range. A4 with a colon, and then at the top of the range, and then colon, the bottom of the range. So that could be B, C, D. The range is 1, 2, 3. It goes, you know, it can be any of those can be a range. It doesn't have to be just one column. So it says look. So this function says look in basically column A, What am I looking for? I'm looking for W0338. And what am I going to sum? I'm going to sum paid to date, which is this last column, I believe. Yeah. And you can see all three pieces are highlighted. Here's the first piece of the function. Where am I looking? Up and down this column. What am I looking for is red, is W, and then what am I going to what am I going to sum? Well, it is this purplish paid to date. Now this the instructions actually on the total for each state actually it's pretty obvious that in the original instructions he didn't use a pivot table and wanted you to use a sum if. And I went ahead and did it just because I wanted to show you something. In the problem, he says to take this project data and make a pivot table. Or no, not make one. It's already here. Projects by state. It's already here. And that is actually the way all of this is done for the most part today, is by using pivot tables, just because it's easier than using these sum ifs. But I did it anyway because one thing about a pivot table is you have to refresh it. So for example, let's use this bridge here, and let's say the estimate is not 54,000, but let's say $1 million. So you can see, actually I did 10 million. You can see it automatically adjusted these numbers. On a pivot table though, it is not adjusted. So if I look at projects by state, you're not going to see that 10 million until, okay, now I'm in the pivot table. Now if I go to pivot table analyze and refresh, then that 10 million is going to be there. There it is. So you have to hit refresh on a pivot table. And sometimes that can be kind of easy to forget. So I'm going to go back now and undo to get that 10 million out. So I'm going to undo again, and now it's gone back to where it was. So that completes that section of your assignment. And I'm going to do some more of these videos to show you more about this problem. This is actually a good problem. It's a lot, but I hope you did okay on it. Anyway, I'm going to send this to you and then send you some more videos.